You know, after listening to our good friend Yotam and then looking at the speech that I have been given, I cannot help but feel terribly shortchanged because everything that is written here happens to be also in his speech. And before I go ahead extempore, that's off the cuff in Latin, as a minister serving in the Gambia, I was asked to deliver a statement at an event. And somehow, the content of my statement was almost exactly the same as President Jammeh's statement. So I gave my statement and almost had a standing ovation, only for him to call me a couple of minutes later and said, "Do you know that you have just delivered my speech for me? I will deal with you later." So, for the person who gave me this page, I will see you after this. But on a more serious note, I've got the honor and privilege of representing our dear proprietor, MD, CEO of SkillG Nigeria Limited, and also the Chancellor of Gregory University, Uturu, Professor Gregory Ibe, who would have loved to have been here this morning, but he lost his father sometime earlier this year. And the burial, unfortunately, is on Friday, and that is why he could not be here. And he asked me to fill in for him and make a few remarks. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, ably represented by His Excellency, Dr. Obonya Onu, the Minister for Science and Technology and Innovation. And after that, since there is a long list of protocols, I would dare to stand on protocols already observed. Now, last year, the iFAIR graduated 21 fellows, engaged 35 experts, involved 30 investors, and facilitated the development of 24 prototypes, and got support from 10 government agencies, and dedicated over 300 mentorship hours to the fellows. Now, this is a remarkable feat, considering that Africa has been left behind as far as startups and innovation is concerned. And before I go any further, I would really like to thank and appreciate His Excellency, the Minister, the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, who has been with SkillG and the iFAIR concept right from inception. And I'm quite sure you saw him in the video that was played at the beginning of the first iFAIR. But not only him, there was also tremendous support by His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who is also ably represented here with some of his staff who are present, and not only personally represented by His Excellency, the Honorable Minister. Now, for all of our partners who have decided to join us in this journey of trying to make Nigeria an innovation hub in Africa, I would like to say on behalf of SkillG and Innovate and all of the staff and the fellows, a big thank you. Now, earlier this morning when I was thinking, what encouraging message should I give to the fellows? And I looked at some of the Nigerian inventors that have gone on to create tremendous things that have impacted science and technology and innovation in this world. not only Nigeria. But then I said, you know, I don't think we need to look further than what we have achieved here. So anytime you are stuck and think that you can't go forward, remember this story. Just over a year ago, early 2020, I can remember being in Mr. Degan's office. Where is Mr. Degan? He's here somewhere. And he asked me if I had come to this facility. And I said, yes, but it is an old water factory. It's derelict. The equipment are not working. What is so special? He said, if I could only have access to this, I would do great things. And I thought, okay, yes, I mean, Mr. Degan is a smart man, definitely. He could, but at the time, his idea was to turn this place into, first of all, an assembly plant, and then a manufacturing plant for the equipment, the educational equipment that we import and supply to universities and polytechnics and schools across Nigeria. And then, unfortunately, after bringing a little bit of equipment in, we had the pandemic. So during the pandemic, he didn't stop. He made sure that he continued the renovation and put in some equipment that would help supply equipment to the Ministry of Education, to the police, and to the other security forces, such as face masks and so on, to help combat the pandemic. Now, shortly after the lockdown was lifted, I met him again and he said, you know what? I think that we can create an innovation hub in this place. And of course, I believed him. So he spoke to our good friend, His Excellency Shimon Ben Shoshan, the then Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, and he came full on board with this idea. And that is how we moved step by step to having iFAIR 1, and then the TED Fair, and now iFAIR 2. Now, you look at this building, and you think that this has been here for posterity. No. This whole building was renovated to state-of-the-art standards within a matter of weeks. And with the support of the Israeli embassy here in Nigeria, especially with the then Israeli ambassador, and also his deputy, Mr. Yotam, we managed to create this innovation fellowship for aspiring inventors and researchers. And now we are on the second phase of it. And this will only continue. You see, Mr. Deji had mentioned in his opening remarks of Nigeria how great it was in the past. It is still great, and it will forever be great. The only question is for you, the young people, will you play your part and be part of that greatness? So, in congratulating you on being shortlisted and being part of this iFAIR 2, I would encourage you to make the best use of these facilities, to pour out your ideas, put them on paper, make sure that you work with the experts here at SkillG and the mentors that have been provided for you, to turn your ideas into prototypes. Because I know one day, one of your products will change this world. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.